next session, which is latest trends in litigation management, for which our panelists are Sumant Nayak, Smita Menon, Dr. Surat Singh, Siddharth Patnaik. I request to all the speakers to come on the stage, and let's start with the session.
Thank you. Smita, no, I'm waiting.
The track sponsor for this panel is Deepak Sabharwal and Associates. The moderator for this session is Dr. Surat Singh. We have all the panelists already on the stage, and they would be discussing on the latest trends in litigation management. Just to announce, every session will be run about 40 minutes, because in the 10 minutes would be for the question and answer round. So I would request Dr. Surat Singh to start off with the panel.
Thank you, Sherry.
Sophia.
Welcome and good noon. We would be discussing on latest trends in litigation management. Now, we are 4 of us, so roughly speaking, 7 minutes each, and then followed by question and answer session. So, now, when we talk about litigation, as I said in the morning in the inaugural, why litigation? Well, litigation because human nature is such. Human nature is such that when we enter into contracts or agreements or even marriages, we enter with a lot of goodwill. We enter with a lot of expectation. We enter with everything will go fine. But fortunately or unfortunately, human beings' nature as complex it is. And there comes some conflict of interest, where the partners who are very close to each other, now they want more than their due share, or somebody is not giving their due share, or as they say in matrimonial law, that when love goes out of the door, lawyer enters through window. So as long as there is a love in the marriage, lawyers are not permitted, but once love goes out of the door, then lawyer enters through window. Similarly, in other partnerships, agreements, and all that. Because human beings have this complex personality where on the one hand they have cooperative interests, on the other hand they have conflicting interests. So they cooperate also, but when their own interests conflict with the interests of others, then they fight also. Being a lawyer of property, I've seen brothers and sisters fighting, husband and wife fighting, of course, corporations fighting with government fighting with various departments. That's why what I said in the morning, and I repeat, that Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes, who is considered the greatest judge after Chief Justice John Marshall of America, and my fellow Harvardian, also Harvard Law School, what he said about life, and I repeat, he says, just one minute, do we have the slide? Where are they? Slide जो है दिखा रहे थे? हाँ, slide थी कुछ. Wendell Holmes about the nature of life, and what he says, he fought in First World War, and he learned something very important about human nature, and he said, and I quote, life in one form or another is always a battle. He says, life in one form or another is always a battle. It's one thing to utter sweet phrases under protected cloister, means saying nice, goody things and all that. It's one thing to utter sweet phrases under protected cloister, but it's quite another to think under fire when vital interests are at stake. Now, for example, when I was arguing a case against Reliance Power Project, there were these farmers of 6 villages whose land has been taken away at the rate of 161 rupees per square yard. I'm not sure, but a considerable amount of 500 crores was given to the then Chief Minister as a bribe. And government exercised all its power to beat up all these farmers and to take their land against their consent. And that too on a very, very low price. Like price was about 200,000 per square yard and they got 160. It means not even 10% of their real value. What do? Either they can talk about good faith and goodwill and all nice gestures, or they can fight. They did. They went to Allahabad High Court. Allahabad High Court increased it from that rate to slightly more and 10% developed land, but did not quash the acquisition. They came to Supreme Court. Supreme Court, I represent these farmers against Anil Ambani's group of Reliance Power Project. They negotiated. They said instead of 160, we can give you 200 or 300. I said nothing doing. If the market rate is 2,000, and let's give 1,500 per square yard. That means about, let's say they were given about 20 million, but we were entitled to more than 200 million. So they didn't agree. What did we do? Should we go home? No, we fought. We fought in the Supreme Court, and lo and behold, we won. And farmers' land was given back to them. So what is the lesson? A lesson is, if somebody is not fair to you, you try to put sense into them. Even they do not listen, then fight. Fight, bargain, and settle. That's the principle of life. Fight, then you have bargaining power. Fight, bargain, and then settle. Another example, a very individual example. A lady, young lady from USA came, married some rich man in Delhi. And after 2 years, things did not work out. So she said, okay, let's go for mutual settlement. That's amicable settlement. Husband offered 1 crore rupees. Wife was asking 15 crores. Well, there was a lot of gap as a settlement. 1 crore means $200,000, roughly speaking. 15 crore means $3 million, right? So, husband said, this is more than enough for two years marriage. And she said, my entire life, career, reputation is ruined. So at least 15 crores, 3 million, so that I can settle in life.
Oh, no.
We came in the scene, filed a case. We knew some secrets about the husband, where he has got his black money and all that. And who knows better than wife where the black money is. So husband said, okay, instead of 1, let's settle at 8 crores. From 1 to 8, right?
Good job.
So, well, wife said 15. I said, no, don't be too rigid. From 1 to 8 is good enough. If some more, that's fine. It was settled at 9, right? So from 1 crore to 9, how much? 9 times improvement. Sometimes this 9 times can be dangerous. When I was a student, I was not very rich, so I was teaching tuition to cover my studies. So I was teaching one mathematics student. So after teaching him for 2 months, I inquired what happened. He said, sir, he has failed. I said, he has not failed, I have failed. So he said, no, sir, he got 27 out of 100. I said, then I have failed. He said, no, sir, before you started teaching, he got only 3 out of 100. So 9 times improvement. So sometimes this times improvement percentage can be misleading. So from 1 crore to 9 crore, that's the way bargaining power. So that's the litigation's leverage. Another example, there was this case of certain property. Husband, having drunk, sold it to his friend. Both of them took a loan from a bank, frittered away the whole money on stock market, and they turned out to be losers, so they lost the money. Now the bank is after the house. This wife, a medical doctor, who did not have any knowledge that the husband, in his drunken state, has sold the entire property. She said, where do I go without children? We asked the bank said nothing doing. You have to pay, otherwise the whole house is ours. We went to High Court, told the High Court that, look, husband has taken the money without our knowledge, so give us time and we'll settle. High Court was kind enough, gave us a time. In the meanwhile, what happened? That the person who had purchased also came to us and said, okay, let's sell it together because I have only title, no possession. You have possession, but no title. So it's a defective property, but together if we sell it, we can sell it at a market rate. So we sold it together. Wife got half of that. Bank was paid. The owner got rest of the money, and lawyer got 1 crore. Not bad, right? So win-win situation. And when I argued and everything was settled, bank was happy, wife was happy, the other person who purchased the property was happy. I thanked the judge. I said, Lordship, because of your intervention, everybody is happy. And guess what? He said, no, you did such a justice to them. Imagine what a compliment to hear from a judge. So all are happy. It's a win-win situation. So, and it is our culture. When Arjun was really getting confused and distressed, should I fight against my relatives or not? Should I do the litigation in a sense or not? What Lord Krishna said, Kutasva kashmalvidam vishme samupasthitam anaryam aswargam akirtikam Arjun. Meaning thereby that Kutasva kashmalvidam, in this difficult time, where from you have got this depression? Where from you have got this low spirit? Anaryam, it does not befit a great person. Aswargam, neither it will give you any sukh, any anand, any happiness. Akirtikam, nor you will get a good name. Shudram hridaya daurbalyam nayu tattu vaipadate. These kind of weakness of heart and spirit does not befit thee. That's Lord Krishna, 3,000 years ago. So, the same thing, that fight you must. Of course, you should try to avoid as far as possible, but sometime in life you can't. Sometimes other persons are not reasonable. So, that is where the role of litigation comes. Now, there are certain misconceptions about litigation, some well-founded, some not. For example, many people say litigation takes a lot of time. Yes, it does, and it does not. I'll tell you how. Some people say it's very expensive, very costly. Well, yes and no. I'll show how it is not. And then, of course, integrity. Well, when I came back from USA, I never knew that lawyers here in India might be lacking integrity. But one of my clients said, sir, in Hindi he asked, sir, we are very happy with you, but aap toot to nahi jaoge. मैंने कहा, toot to means what? I thought he must be thinking whether my health is good or not. But what he meant was, whether I'll take bribery and to be with the other side. I said, why would I do that? So he said, no, but many people do. So that integrity question is also there. Well, in India, lawyers neither have better nor have lower morality than the rest of the society. So that's much more a reflection on the culture. But there are a lot of honest people I've seen. There are a lot of people who will not compromise at any cost. In my career, once I was offered, 50 crores when I was doing Narasimha Rao bribery case, $10 million. I refused, simply refused. It's not done. In another case also against some chief minister. So integrity is another issue. Now, why I say delay? The trick is simple. A case might go on for 10 years, but that is not relevant. What is relevant is that can you get the order which you will be getting after 10 years on the first day itself, what we call interim order, injunction. Supposing somebody is dispossessing you from the land. Now he is coming because DDA, Delhi Development Authority, is after you or something. So now, supposing on the very first day, you get a stay, and the case goes on and on, but you got it, what you were supposed to go at the end of the day. You can utilize that as a bargaining power. Now, a client of mine from USA invested a lot of money in India to get the property purchased on his behalf. The Indian person, he purchased 1 or 2 small property in his name to gain the confidence. After that, for major amount, he purchased all the property either his own name or the name of his property, a clear fraud. Now what do you do? Now they exercise all the power of good faith and goodwill, nothing worked. We took him to court, got a stay against all the properties, got his farmhouse attached. We got some property back, we sold it. So at least a part recovery was there. He did not get his 25 million, but he got at least 5 million. So at the first date, what we call interim order, an effective lawyer is known that you get on the first day what you will be getting after 2, 3, 4, 5 years or whatever. And then, of course, you bargain. Second, is it expensive? Now, supposing a farmer comes to me, his property is worth 200 crores. Government has acquired it. He does not have money. Now, supposing somehow you win the case for him and get 200 crores back for him. Now, supposing give you 5 crores out of that, is it expensive? No, you created a value of 200 crores first. For these Ambani farmers, we got 2,523 acres land worth about $1 billion